probably Vice President Kamala Harris, based on my latest reporting, talking to top Democrats.
I hear this right. Just listen.
For Democrats for the convention.
Breaking news.
And then have some kind of canvassing for a vice presidential candidate. At the same time, there is some uncertainty in the party about whether Vice President Harris is best positioned to be former President Donald Trump, who just days ago last weekend survived an assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. This is a tumultuous moment, a decision that was so personal for President Biden. I was being told as late as yesterday and this morning that the president wanted to stay in the race. He's been chasing the presidency really since he was elected.
It's real time, y'all. I'm getting the same time y'all get it because I'm about to talk. Yeah, just listen.
Were killed in a car accident. This is another moment in a career that has spanned so much of the American story, and now President Biden withdrawing from the Democratic presidential race. It's notable, though, that President Biden, in this decision, has decided to stay as president of the United States. He will not resign
from
the presidency. The last president to do that was Richard Nixon in August of 1974, following the Watergate.
Write it on out, Joe.
Managing foreign policy, a war in the Middle East. He's monitoring a war in Eastern Europe. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has been a major part of his presidency. He says he will remain in the presidency despite being age 81 and having some concerns among Democrats about his health. But this is a churning.
He was too old and decrepit to be a president in the first place. Y'all was just desperate.
This was a decision that was not arrived at lightly, but it came under intense pressure from Democrats for him to step aside.
Robert, it's clear how much President Biden and his love for this country. You mentioned he's been serving since 1972.
Forever. Get the fuck out, man. You've been there too long.
Call for him to join the race today. Independent Joe Manchin also. But there are so many people in his inner circle that were encouraging him to stay in, saying, our polls show you can still win this. Who in his inner
They was getting a check off the campaign. That's why they wanted him to stay in there. He was their bread and butter.
Based on our latest reporting at CBS News and my conversations with Biden's closest associates, this was a family decision.
Busy. What's going on, baby?
He was thinking about for weeks. He was leaning towards staying.
Biden didn't quit. Biden said, "Fuck, I just want to concentrate on riding out the presidency. I ain't gonna run no more." Now they trying to figure out who's supposed to take his place. Now, according to the civics class and the government classes I took when I was going to school, I thought it was supposed to be the vice president. But they saying fuck whoever. They just say, they use her as a. Hold on 1 second. I turn this back on. They use no girl as an afterthought. They know that she is not appealing to the broad population. They know that, hell, I expressed my disdain for Kamala Harris while she was still running for presidency in the first place. And then you also have to consider the fact that she was calling, she wasn't necessarily, she didn't directly call Con Massa Biden a white supremacists, but she inferred that someone of Biden's ilk would be I just say prejudice, so I won't hurt her. But she was pretty much, she was on Biden's neck. But they're not saying we want Kamala. Ain't nobody saying, but didn't nobody say before this shit. They knew that he was up there falling off bikes and shit, stuttering, stammering, falling asleep. Even before he became president, he was falling asleep when he was vice president on some shit. They wasn't hollering about, please, Mr. Biden, Master Biden, go on and relax and let Mammy Cammy step in. They wasn't even trying to let Mammy Cammy step in. They really, Kamala Harris is a consolation prize. They haven't even the people that said Biden sit down somewhere, some of them may be more interested in taking the opportunity to take the candidacy seat. But let me turn this back up. I'm tripping, y'all. My fault. My fault, busy.
In the Republican Party, the rise of white supremacy is broadly.
Oh, shit, ain't that something?
And that has compelled him to stay in despite all of these mounting concerns about his age and his political ability. He believes he'll until the 11th hour that he beat Trump once, he could beat Trump again. But he knew also that as a long-time political operator, someone who has more of a political antenna than almost anyone I've ever covered, that he was losing support fast from Democrats. He lost Democrats who long supported him, and he wanted to go into the convention with strength. And if that became no longer possible, then he was facing a crossroads where the party might not be with him at that convention in Chicago. And there hadn't been whispers yet of someone mounting a challenge against Biden for the nomination.
Come on now.
But there was certainly talk that if Biden didn't step away in the coming weeks, someone might have to start to run against him. So he's avoided any kind of messy convention by making this decision. But I can't underscore enough, after reporting on this story for weeks, how this is a sad moment for President Biden.
He just said
He's a proud man.
that dude was trying to stay in office to fight against white supremacy that was coming from the Trump camp. You got to be fucking kidding me.
Through personal humiliation, political humiliation. You think about his run in 1988. He had a plagiarism scandal that suffered an aneurysm, but he came back, always coming back, always returning.
Right, go away, nigga. Shit, go home.
Pulled apart in 2008 politically when he runs for president, and put on the ticket by then Senator Barack Obama. 8 years president, the first black man to ever serve in the White House.
First blackish.
President, and again, everyone counts out Joe Biden. He loses in New Hampshire in primary 2020. He loses in Iowa. He keeps losing. No one counts.
He's a loser.
Then all of a sudden, one of the leading black Democrats in the country, Jim Clyburn of South Carolina, endorses him, and Biden storms to the nomination in 2020.
All right, we're Biden. Man, come on, man. Clyburn, bitch ass.
It was just no competition for what Biden faced from his fellow Democrats in terms of pressure to lead. But Biden,
get out. Old man, go home.
Does he anoint, politically speaking, Vice President Kamala Harris as his successor or not? And if he does not, you could face a chaotic Democratic convention with no clear standard bearer for a party that's already on edge about its electoral prospects.
Robert Costa, please stand by, and I do want to back up some of the points.
Biden don't fuck with Kamala.
Regarding how
Biden don't even fuck with Kamala.
difficult of a decision
You don't even really see them have that type of a relationship. As people, you know, even with Bro Obama, he played cool. He played like he was down with the blacks.
The president now announcing today that he will end his re-election bid. In a letter just released, he writes that it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And getting to the point of what Robert was talking about regarding how difficult and heartbreaking of a decision this was for President Biden, he goes on to say, while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to
not the people.
stand down, that is, and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. Willie James Inman is traveling with the
Of my party in the country. Now the country is a very nebulous term. He said of my party in the country. Not the people, not the black like me. You want to be black, you got to vote for me, not them people. My party.
This is a community that President Biden knows very well. He spends a lot of time here. But if you talk to the folks here and they love President Biden, this is his home state, of course. This is a town that he visits quite often. But in his statement, he also talks about the successes of his administration. He thanks Vice President Kamala Harris. But as Bob pointed out, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out if President Biden does indeed endorse Vice President Kamala Harris to take the helm to be the Democratic nominee and go up against former President Donald Trump. But the president really saw the doors closing in, so to speak. So senators came out. You had Joe Manchin come out today and said that the president needed to step aside. You had members of the House, more than 36 Democratic lawmakers stepping out publicly and saying that the president should end his political campaign. And in fact, that is what he did today. Although, of course, he is behind closed doors.
See, they keep mentioning Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin, you know, he's a politician out there, he's the governor or senator, whatever, from where I grew up, West Virginia. Donald Trump turned West Virginia into a red state. West Virginia was a conventionally blue state, and you know that's not to say too much because it was Robert Byrd that turned West Virginia into a blue state. Robert Byrd, the former KKK member, turned Democrat after the civil rights movement. You know, they switched their ideology at that point. Um, so Mansion mentions, well, you know, Biden, you need to go sit down somewhere, man, for the betterment of the party. But you know, out of all the other all the other Democrat politicians or whatever advisors is that in the third, um, it was Joe Manchin. Now remember, Joe Manchin was the one that was holding up some type of legislation one particular time, and they were like saying, well, uh, he's a rhino or whatever, he's a dino or I don't know how the fuck, however the fuck they do that shit. Because this is none of my nigga business in the first place. I just study white folks, and I've had debates on politics with white folks. So I have a you know, when people say to black people that you are not Mm, I don't know if the word is politically intellectual. You have a low political academic acumen. Um, these and really, it's the most dynamic drama in the first place. It's not even something that's real. It's just, you know, it's something that they selling y'all to believe. Will Kamala Harris be the presidential candidate now? Or they just going to pick somebody random? Maybe Joe Manchin. You know, Joe Manchin, he's the one that'll be able to appeal to the rhinos and the dinos, you know, because he's a good old boy.
Particularly looking at the calendar, looking at what this means for the Democratic Party. But I'd be remiss not to take a second and just, focus on Joe Biden here for a moment. This is an incredible personal sacrifice.
Man, let him go to bed, man. And it'd be black people, it'd be black Nick, it'd be black males. His campaign manager was like a black male that was holding his water. Why we got to be the ones to have this shit on our faces? Our representatives, our representation that the niggas like the black African American black people like the holler for. They want representation. This is the representation. Y'all like him though. Fuck Biden.
Not just within the Democratic Party, but I think millions of Americans will see this as the selfless act that I think is designed to be. Joe Biden,
selfless.
That his campaign for president is untenable going forward. The leaders of his party have been prepared in their conversations with him, and I think, given the stakes of this election, he has made the very difficult, selfless decision to end this campaign. And I think that this will put him in very rarefied air.
Rarefied air.
Politics, but really just in the annals of presidential history. This is a pretty remarkable turn of events, but also a remarkable, decision by Joe Biden, someone who's been in the public space for 5 decades, who has started off as he told himself, as one of the youngest senators in U.S. history.
Come on, man.
Went through a storied career, interwoven with personal crisis and tragedy. Ran for president several times unsuccessfully, and at this late stage in his career,
he's been reaping financial benefit and power from our political system since he was a young man.
Has decided to step aside for the betterment of the country. It's a pretty remarkable story.
Joel Payne, if I could ask you to stand by, because we have now just made contact with Nancy Cortez, who is at the White House. And Nancy, obviously a historic day, as I mentioned here, as soon as we broke in with this breaking news, it's just another twist to what has already been a historic election cycle. And as we were speaking there with Joel Payne, our CBS political contributor, he honed in on how this is a personal sacrifice for President Biden. Do you agree?
I do agree. This is a position, the presidency, that President Biden has been seeking for nearly half a century. But before we get to that, Christine, we do have a major piece of news, which is just moments ago, President Biden answered a question.
Biden, no, he wasn't. It's just like them.
His vice president to take
Biden wasn't bigger than the pro. Biden, no, he not bigger than the program. Nobody's bigger than the program. You know, he knows. He knew that the inevitable was coming.
Been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our
Wait a
party
minute.
this year. Democrats, it's time.
Oh my!
And beat Trump.
Now it gets interesting.
Major puzzle piece falling into place.
Y'all get y'all sassy. Y'all get y'all sassies now. Yeah, I might have, like I said, man.
Perhaps a contested convention, but this is the president basically turning not only his endorsement over to the vice president.
Well, I'll be
also
damned.
His campaign.
Kind master.
Campaign operation, basically giving her the most high-profile endorsement he can to launch her on what will now be a breakneck 3.5-month campaign for the presidency. This is just something.
3.5-month campaign for the presidency.
I have to imagine before he
Man, ooh, this is fucking ridiculous. You're kidding me.
has said to him,
Oh my.
best path forward.
Yes, and there have been a couple of different schools of thought within the party, Christine. There are some who say, let's have some kind of mini election, some sort of mini primary that will end up strengthening whoever comes out of it. And then there's been this other school of thought that says, no, that's a process that's uncontrollable. You can't predict who will end up being the victor. You could end up damaging any number of those who are involved. And these are individuals, some of whom have not been vetted on a national stage. And so this is clearly the safest route, especially given how little time there is to introduce the Democratic.
Who is going to contest Kamala Harris? Who is going to? They say maybe a broker convention, because this convention is going to be in a good city of Chicago. I live in Cook County. I don't live in Chicago. I live in Chicago Lane. Biden endorsed her. All right.
Indication that despite their public claims that they won't
Kind master.
at all, that behind the scenes
Y'all better send some flowers.
for this kind of 1-2 punch for the president to announce he would seek the nomination and then in very short order to throw his support behind his vice president.
Ooh, 4 years to Kamala Harris. That would be it. She has a chance.
Please remind us and our viewers how exactly we got here. How did we get to today?
Well,
He got old. It's senile. What the fuck you mean?
Whether President Biden would seek re-election, there were many Democratic voters who were a little bit nervous about the fact that he would be 86 at the end of the second term. Wondered if he had the energy and the vigor to continue.
Energy and vigor. Come on now.
Yes, he did. He said he had a very successful first term. He felt he could be successful in the second term. He took some time to think about it, longer than anybody expected, and he ended up deciding to run for re-election. But just recently,
They were shooting him up with dope. That's my opinion. It may be very well be wrong, but they were giving him performance enhancement drugs.
He seemed to have more difficulty just physically, so remembering names, remembering facts, being able to summon facts as quickly as he once had. This is an individual who was once known as a great orator, perhaps one of the greatest orators in the Senate.
He's a good liar. He was a good liar. But not really a good liar.
And particularly after the debate, that you started seeing members of Congress come out urging him to step aside, or at least consider stepping aside. At first, the Biden White House thought they could weather that storm. It was just a trickle of lawmakers. There were a lot of lawmakers who were saying publicly that they wanted him to step aside, but who were worried about crossing him publicly. Didn't want to appear disloyal, so they tried to put on pressure behind the scenes. But when that didn't work, you saw Democrats coming out much more forcefully, and started hearing some equivocation even from Democratic leaders. Reports that the leaders of the House and the Senate were calling on, or not calling on him to resign publicly, but at least telling him behind the scenes that many of their members didn't think that he could win, and that he would end up dragging down Democratic candidates in the House and Senate, perhaps causing them to lose the House and Senate.
Man, ain't nobody in here, man, cause fuck whatever. I don't know whether it's just my the way I talk or whatever the fuck it is. But I I had originally came on here to talk about. I made a post and I said all politics aside, that really, I can admit that I was bullshitting because I like saying, well, shoot, people make it politics, but I'm really going to like think it in a more of a practical sense of how your real life is. Because once these elections are over, you're not even thinking about politics. You're not thinking about voting. You're not thinking about your ancestors died. Blah 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 blah. You're not thinking about this. So I wrote the question. I said, well, question of the day. I said, were you more financially comfortable from 2016 to 2020, or more financially comfortable from 2020 to 2024? Now, the abundant majority of the people, they were saying that they were more financially comfortable from 2020 to 2024. Now, I should have did more thinking. I should have shaped my questions a little better. Because obviously, if you're a go-getter person, then you're, even in the face of adversity, you're going to attempt to build your stock up, to go to a different plateau, to get more money. My goodness, especially all things considered. Now there were people saying, "Yeah, I make more money. My investments in stocks. And, I got this position. I did this, and I lost this position. I got this." I mean, yeah, and I mean, I can't even be mad at all, because it's all about whatever circumstances and conditions and um, coincidences. Because I guess I can say it was a coincidence that I got my plantation position. What was it? It had to be yeah, it was pretty much the January that me and Massa had entered the White House. I got the best job I didn't had in my life, the highest paying job I didn't had in my life. I mean, it's a plantation job, but it's still like one of the best jobs I didn't had in my life. So I can't be mad at that. But still, it's like, okay, even with this cool gig, I mean, I don't know why my complex chooses Sunday and I'm not even gonna be. I could look out the window and probably point out the amigos, to cut the grass and weed eat and all that shit, but that's what that is. But I got this job, it was a temp job. Now, mind you, underneath Obama, God damn, man, I thought he was gone. Underneath Bro Obama, I call him Barack Obama, Bro Obama, because I consider him my bro. Underneath Bro Obama, I had a series of temp jobs. Really, at the beginning, I guess the first 4 years, when they were talking, the unemployment was so bad, and they were always constantly coming out every month with the unemployment numbers. Um, it was bad the first 4 years because really I was independent. I was pretty much subcontractor, contractor type of nigga. I could paint industrial, commercial, residential, whatever. Uh, and I had I had that where I was getting like pretty much I was getting under the table money really in a lot of cases, but uh, and this was doing W's reign. Now, when W had his second term, and whoever, I think Obama was running against but whoever, I forgot that dude, the dude that got captured in the war or whatever. He was running against him. And everybody was like, well, we through with the Republicans, we sick of the Republicans now. I myself, the first 4 years of W out, when the gas first started shooting up and, niggas couldn't get a job, whatever, I was still hustling, but, so really the job part wasn't really an issue. But, you know, at that time you had 9/11, and then people was on that shit like that. But when the second 4 years, I started paying with my guy. My guy, he put me on as intern. Now I had 1129, and then my 1129 pretty much spread out 2 years because I kept violating my probation. And 1129 is like you could go to jail for 11 months and 29 days, but we're going to give you 11 months and 29 days probation. If we're going to put you on probation, we're going to give you a drug test, piss test, and, you got to make sure you report where you are. You got to have, all that good shit to come with probation. During that time period, man, now, mind you, you're on probation, and what I was on probation for, shit. It wasn't bad. It ain't like I'm just shit because you would never find me on some chomo shit. It was, of course, it was on some fucking weed shit. It was on. I got called at Hadley Park, Nashville, Tennessee. Hadley Park niggas that went to school, college with me. They knew that later on, after I was bullshitting at Fisk University, I started selling the weed and shit. And then even after I left Fisk, local Nashville niggas know I had the plug to the pounds, but mostly I had my little ounces, quarters, and whatever. But that's not important. When I got pinched at Hadley Park, I still, even when because I still had weed after I got pinched, I still had about damn near a pound that I had to sell. After I got pinched and got out. Because I didn't pay bond. I just laid down until they let me out. Uh, when I got out, I'm not no prison, no super. I ain't got no super prison story. I'm just a short term jail nigga. Because when I went to jail that short term, I know I didn't want to go back. But when I got out, the nigga that I was that was he really was a middleman to the police. The nigga I was fucking with, man. And this was a friend of mine, you know. I ain't gonna say no names. If you know, you know. Uh, he just started doing just doing dumb shit, and then putting the pressure on me like I'm supposed to allocate for the dumb shit you do. Never mind. Keep on going with the politics shit. So, um, I had to put the weed down. I had to figure out what I was gonna do. Now, going out, you on probation for this, and there's only certain shit you could do. I fell off in Nashville. God bless my baby sister B, who I love. I mean, now I be, just being the nigga that I am, cause I love you to death, but I'm not good at being being, the conventional whatever. My baby sister B, man, I fell off in Nashville, you know, fucking with a nigga who got pounds, fucking a nigga that like to go throw money up in the goddamn strip club. I mean, man, let me stay off that. I went downstairs with my sister B. I was working at the goddamn Kmart. If you remember the Kmart was a discount store that similar to the Walmart. They had a whole bunch of different departments, and they were very popular at the time. I worked at the Kmart, making damn near a little bit more than minimum wage, working a whole bunch of hours. My sister let me save my money, so because I fell off in Nashville, I'm saving the money. I don't know how I got this, but we gonna keep on rolling. I don't know how I got here, but we gonna keep on rolling. I stayed down there, man, and one thing about your family, your stomp down family, because we people talk about family, we talk about you know how family is not the same as it should be. Your family, sometimes when your family may do things, they'll do things for your benefit that'll make you that help you and make you feel good and helping, but they also do things that or that don't necessarily make you feel good, that make you challenge yourself to make better choices and decisions, and also exercise your full potential. I stayed with my sister. I worked at my little Kmart job, uh, a baby sister, man. Baby sister X, the hustler par excellence, man. I love my sister to death, man. I be bullshit my baby sister. But she said it's time to go, nigga. And then I had 11/29. I had probation. Going to Little Rock uh pretty much extended my probation, because then when I went back to, I was doing my best, and I pretty much was dodging motherfuckers as far as smoking and shit, but they got me. They pinched me one good time, and I don't know. I can't remember whether they extended that probation 6 more months or a year, but they extended it, and they said you ain't got no, you didn't clear it to go to Little Rock, Arkansas, nigga. Get your black ass back to Nashville, Tennessee. Man, I had to come back to Nashville, and I came back to Nashville. My uncle, my uncle Jesse, he had East Nashville. I don't know if whoever in Nashville, if y'all familiar with like Fourth and Shelby, they're like some, look at it, they pretty much like projects, but they were built as military shelter. It was a 1 bedroom. Now them motherfuckers, they all cinder block. They cinder block and hard floor. My uncle was gracious enough to let me come back and stay with him. I stayed with him. I was laying on the concrete. I think I had an air mattress, but that, you know how the air mattresses, they'll fuck around and get a little hole in them. You'll go to sleep and you floating on air. By the time you wake up, you have concrete stuck up in your back. But uh, my nigga Anton Cutler, man, and I know Cutler from the other types of game, but other types of the game, but he always been a painter. He was always pretty much aspiring and building the skills of painting, because he was once an apprentice. He put me on with the paint. Uh, that paint shit paid my little probation off. I got out the probation and got my own apartment. I had a couple of little hoopty cars. I had a '87 what was that shit? Buick. Was it Buick Riviera or something, whatever? But that's not important. I had a Pontiac Bonneville too. I think I had an '87, '88 Bonneville too. I fucked both of them cars off. But we still on politics. I came up the second 4 years. And the reason why that happened was because, like, the same thing, the same reason why that hurt black folks and a few other people was the same reason I came up before Obama got my bro Obama. Let me get correct, bro Obama, because he's my bro. Before bro Obama got in office, the same thing that fucked people up after he got in office was the same thing that pushed me to another level while W was still in office. They had set it up to where people could get get buy houses. A whole lot of people buying houses. A whole lot of black people buying houses. They had a law or whatever legislation that enabled black folks to be able to afford houses. They bought houses. Housing market crashes once Obama comes. Mass loss of black wealth while Obama's in office. But Obama is the first blackish president. So we should be happy. This is our representation. Asking about reparations. He believes reparations should be education, even though education is something that is appreciated and given to every child in this country by way of public access, funded by federal income tax or state city taxes, whatever taxes. Education is already paid for by the people already. So reparations cannot be that. But let me not stick with that shit. They use Barry to run a number on niggas, man, because Barry was the par excellence of symbolism because he's the husband and the father, the daughter dad, and all that shit. And black folks, they go by how they feel and not necessarily about what is tangible and something that they can touch, something that will have substantial and long-term value in regards to your ancestors or your children, not since the ancestors, as far as your descendants and your forebears. So Obama, he was in, people feeling good. He had niggas in the White House, Rick Ross and Jay-Z and Beyonce in the White House. Ooh, it felt good. Niggas was feeling good because when it comes down to it, all black folks want to do is feel good. We just want to feel good. We want to feel comfortable. We want to make sure that we're noticed and paid attention to, that nobody is mean to us because they've been mean to us so much in the past. So it's easy for them to say, well, now mind you, these are presidents, and I don't know it. Niggas was getting killed while Obama was in office. The police was killing niggas while Obama was in office. Niggas was poor while Obama was in office. Um, but when Trump got in office, it seemed to be like, well, all of a sudden there was racial Armageddon. Now, even when they talk about when they went, I don't know, I think the story where they had the Proud Boys, I don't know, it was North Carolina, wherever they went to. The person that they killed was a white woman. They ain't kill no niggas. Doing them protests or whatever. Um, but this is not even rallying for Trump. This is like I'm really trying to figure out. It's okay. Let me teach you why, because I went a long way around to what I'm talking about. I put this question up. I said, have you been doing better? Are you more financially comfortable? Well, back then, 4 years ago, obviously underneath Donald Trump, than you are now. People saying, yeah, I get more money. I got paid more money. So, ooh, yeah, I did too. They don't fight. They don't. When I got off work, I was driving home. My tank said fuel low. Now, the last time I think I got gas, because I think I felt, because I don't really go nowhere. I just go to work, whatever. But I think the last time I really got gas, damn, that might have been when I was coming back from was it St. Louis? No, it wasn't even, no. I think I still had gas in my car from St. Louis, and it was like $3 and some change. Now it's like 4.50. And when I got off work, and I needed gas because you got to have gas for your car to move. And I thought about the question asked. I said, "Are you better off now than you were then, or financially more comfortable?" I should have been more specific with my question because financially comfortable is one thing. Financial comfort means that you can afford whatever it is that you need. But I guess I was more so asking, um, when you go to a supermarket and you go to try to buy bread, eggs, or just maybe any old random type of thing, and you see that it's 25 to 50% more than it was in 2019. Now, mind you, we know that inflation's gonna go high, gonna go. And now that like even when the little Debbie's was 25 cents, first they started shrinking them motherfuckers, and then they fooled you by like raising, like building up the size of them a little bit and charging like a dollar 50 for a little Debbie cake. It was all types of games being played. The chickens are sick. The chickens are sick, so the chicken wings gotta go up. I'm still mad as hell about turkey bacon. If you look at my audio, not my audio, my video, my live files from, I don't know if it's 21 to 22. I think I'm in a Walmart, walking around a Walmart, looking at the prices and shit. saying blue no matter who, right? But people say they're financially comfortable right now. They cool. Everything is cool with the folks. The folks saying, well, some of them weren't really even because they and I like this and I understand why people do this, but I know they knew what I was saying when I say financially comfortable, and of course, as you go along, especially when you get as old as a nigga like me, you want to elevate your lifestyle. You want to keep on, no matter what, no matter the cost. But the thing with me is, man, when I look at 2019 prices versus 2024 prices, and I know that I done came up in income, I feel as if I've been cheated, man. This shit used to cost this, and when I was imagining getting this shit, the shit I inspired to get, I knew what I made at the particular time, and I knew that if I start making this amount, then me being able to get this and that and the third would not be a problem. But the mind trick came with the wages going up, but also the prices going up. So it kind of gave you the illusion that you were doing better, but you cannot. Y'all really, I understand. I know that Republican Party. I'm not saying that you should vote for Republican Party. I'm not saying you shouldn't embrace Donald Trump, but you got to look at logic and rational reason, man. Are you more comfortable? I mean, these are staple goods like eggs and bread and shit like that. Are you really gonna? My partner said he ain't got no interest. I like my nigga, but then to tell the truth, when Mean Master was in, I had my credit and my credit card. I got damn man. I mean, it's nothing. I guess it's not necessarily nothing to brag about. Even back then, I had like 5 cards. Now I got like 10 because I think for a couple of them I moved I balance transferred in order to avoid the costly interest rate. But during that time period, underneath me, master, I think I got my license before then, but I think I bought my first car off the lot, and I established my credit by buying my first car off the lot. I got a secured credit card and realized that was a ripoff, so I hurried up and knocked them out the box, and woo, everything was cool in my opinion. And then they started giving out the free money. The thing that people try to say that y'all just vote, y'all just want Trump back in because y'all think y'all gonna get some free money. Nigga, do you not? I mean, common sense and why you didn't get nothing from me, master. I mean, from kind master. I'm not even on that, but it really threw me. I'm really hard stressed to believe, and I'm in right because I've been talking for a minute. I'm really hard stressed to believe even in your financial even in your financial comfort, that you don't feel this shit, that you didn't notice that you may spend like $50 in the grocery store and get like 3 little them plastic bags. That a steak that once upon a time that may be like $7 is now like $20. Y'all didn't notice that at all, but you're comfortable with that. Peace and love, man. I just came on here talking because uh, I be looking for the ears that's listening that receive what the fuck I'm talking about. But evidently, I can only get a handful of folks. I get a goose egg, 1 or 2, 3 listeners. Maybe I sound like a retard. Is that it? Maybe my lips crack. I ain't, you know, I've been drinking not water, so my lips a little bit dry, and I've been smoking marijuana. Harsh, hard stress to believe that you didn't feel that none of y'all actually felt this. I can understand that you have your pride, you have your disdain for me and Master Trump, you have your pride in the fact that you voted blue no matter who. But be for real, folks. Now you have the opportunity to vote in Kamala Harris. She's like us. She's black like me in office. It's a happy day for y'all, I guess. But y'all threw me with that shit. I mean, but y'all right though. If you make more money and you know, and the feeling of making more money, well, not even the reality of making more money, in order that you could afford, even being able to afford the shit, even being able to afford the stuff that you couldn't afford when you was making a certain amount of money, there's still room for you to feel the pinch of stuff that's raised in price. And you know, you may say, well, the president ain't got nothing to do with the gas price. Okay, fine. Maybe not directly. I could make a rational argument how, but grocery prices. I mean, but y'all say we got save our democracy. I don't give a fuck about a goddamn democracy. Save a nigga. Save black folks. Nobody give up. Black folks don't give a fuck about black folks. Black folks are fighting to preserve an imaginary culture. Peace and love, man. I didn't talked enough, man. Y'all see a drunk ass nigga. I got 12 more hours of work tonight, and then I'm off for 2 days. Then I work 2 days, then I'm off 3 days. Uh, I might fly. No, I ain't about to fly back to Vegas. I'm being foolish. Peace and love, y'all. I'm out. I'll holler at y'all later. I'm going back to Vegas because I had a good time. Peace to the nigga nation. Nigga nation nothing.